the outboard of the future.
We've revolutionized the market with this motor.
Evinrude Motors has propelled travel for more than 100 years. That was then. This is now. It's time to build the E-Tech G2.
Wait, I gotta wear that?
You do have to wear this.
And the heavy lifting starts now.
I just lifted 300 pounds by myself. Sort of.
People are passionate about outdoor equipment. Get this, Americans spend more than $20 billion a year on gear. But no one ever really sees how their stuff gets made.
Well, that's where we come in. Each week, we throw open the factory doors and give you a behind-the-scenes look at how your favorite gear is made.
Made for the outdoors.
Welcome to Made for the Outdoors. Well, nothing says summer quite like living at the lake. And whether you're fishing, skiing, or tubing, we want you to get there safely and also, in my opinion, fast. Now, this is the Evinrude E-Tech G2. You're looking at the new era of outboards. Let's see how this thing is made.
More than 100 years ago, the Evinrude name first became synonymous with boating. The motor's conception started because of ice cream and one special lady. Ole Evinrude grew up in Wisconsin. Back in 1906, Ole decided to row across a lake one day to get ice cream for his future wife, Bess, only to have it melt before he made it back to shore. To ensure that never happened again, Ole invented the outboard motor. In 1909, the first hand crank motor hit the market and changed life on the water forever.
And it's always fun to take a walk down memory lane. Kevin, a lot has changed since 1909. This is one of the first, right?
1909, the first hand crank started motor. 150,000 of these were put out in the first year.
And only 1.5 horsepower?
1.5 horsepower all the way up now to where we are today with 300 horsepower and above. So when you look back, are there people today that wouldn't actually get into a boat because it's only 1.5 horsepower? Absolutely, absolutely. So we've come a very long way. So from the hand crank, we went to the pull cord, and then you went from a pull start application into a battery operated start along with the pull start. And then you got into the big motors where you get into the steering wheel, the key start. We've really come a long way with our new G2. We have really come up now with a motor that does it all for the user. We've done best in class fuel efficiency. Best in class power to weight ratio. Our torque is 600 foot-pounds of torque, and we've got 20% more torque than we have ever before in these engines. So from a performance value, this thing is really out there.
Evinrude's world headquarters are located in Sturtevant, Wisconsin, about 30 miles south of Milwaukee.
We have about 350 people here on this campus. Approximately 200 of those are on this manufacturing floor.
Check out the Evinrude E-Tech G2 futuristic design. What you see on the outside is just a hint of the remarkable innovations that engineers were able to capture on the inside.
Well, it really does start with an idea. But these ideas in the past, we used to be limited on how many we could do because we had to make prototype hardware and test them, and that's very expensive. More power, that acceleration that gives you the jolt in the boat, it all comes from this.
This machine creates and carves some of the raw materials made in-house, while others are shipped in.
And once the parts arrive here, there's a lot of work to be done. This is pure aluminum. And if you dip this in water, you're gonna have lots of problems, right, Rick?
You're gonna have problems. You're gonna have a lot of corrosion issues if you take raw aluminum and put it in water. We did find a solution for that right here behind us. We're gonna go into our coatings production process. It's an electroceramic coating process, which actually dips the raw aluminum into. There's an electronic conversion there. It's actually a chemical reaction. Basically, it goes under in this dunk tank. We charge it with electricity. It flows through and basically it burns the outside to make this chemical transition of the material. It uses so much electricity, we actually can only run it at night.
Evinrude is one of only a few companies worldwide that own this technology. And this guarantees a 5-year warranty for corrosion protection.
So it starts out as this and ends up as this.
Corrosion done. Now we've coated it. We're going to go on to the assembly process and actually start putting the gears and the prop shaft and drive shaft into it.
First, a quick break, but still ahead.
Just an FYI, I don't expect this to look good.
You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
A little slower.
What?
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Splash Products, Access Covers, Game Fair, and Coates RV and Ice Cabins.
Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors. The Evinrude E-Tech G2 features a bold breakthrough design. Let's now start the assembly process. First, the lower unit. It's time to buff the gear case.
As the system buffs, it has its each individual type of tool, and the machine itself changes tools on its own. It's almost a little bit like a drill, how you change a drill bit. A new type of tool will be put on, and the buffing continues. Pretty sweet.
The next step is going to go down the assembly line for the gear case. What we do there is we actually stuff the actual gear case itself. We're going to put the gears into it, all the bearings in it, all the seals in it, the prop shaft, the drive shaft. About 9 or 10 different stations on that line, a little bit of work content at each one. As you see, we use a lot of grease and assembly aids here. Big jar of grease. I don't have my gloves on. I think Lindsey stole my gloves already.
So it's now time to test for leaks, right?
The first test analyzes pressure, followed by a vacuum test where an oil plug is inserted and the computer makes sure there's no seepage at the seams.
Bottom line is we don't want any oil coming out. We don't want any water going in. We want to keep those gears nice and lubricated.
2 green lights, we're good.
Next thing we're going to do, we're going to move it on to the next department. So we're going to lift it off of here. Just go ahead and slide right down.
Your market set.
The stern and swivel is a major component of the new motor.
It's definitely groundbreaking. It's something we haven't seen in the industry at this point. It's one of the things that we've are first in the industry to do. We've taken basically all the components out of the boat and put it into the motor at this point. So all of your tilt and trim, all of your power steering is inside the motor.
The guys press in the inserts and install the shafts. The lower unit then goes through a mini wash cycle to prime it for painting.
Time to paint. This is the outfit. Let's get to it. Wait, I gotta wear that?
You do have to wear this. The paint system puts basically the next level of corrosion protection on there. It also makes it look like it's going to look when it gets to the customer. Just an FYI, I don't expect this to look good.
Time to paint. Slow and steady.
Spin it around.
Side 2. How'd I do?
Missed the spot here. You might have to do a little touch-up, but basically what we're doing here is we're looking at the motor, looking at the work that we did, making sure the paint department's doing their job the right way. And at this point, as long as everything passes our standards, we're going to send it on to the next department.
So it's now time to install the hydraulic motor. We've got Tina and Karina, and these ladies know how to use their power tool.
Yes, we do.
The ladies install the manifold and all of the parts in the stern and swivel. And check out their high-tech toolbox. A computer tells them which tool to use, and it also stops and starts it all on its own.
Okay, so time to change tools again. As you can see, blinking red. Put that tool back, get the one that's green. Everything, all is computerized and talks to one another. You push the button, it goes, 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 and then it stops and it knows when to stop. This bad boy calls the shots.
The stern and swivel is then purged with hydraulic fluid and then primed to get all the air bubbles out.
The important part here is to basically make sure we have all the air out of the system.
So no air bubbles equals smooth driving.
Smooth driving.
And the final step of the lower unit, the main line. A transom carries the unit down the line as the exhaust house, gear head, and additional components are added.
But we're still missing the engine, kind of an important part. Stay with us. Next, we'll install the power head.
And
There we go.
we test the power. You're watching Made for the Outdoors.
Welcome back to Made for the Outdoors. So we're at Evinrude Motors making the E-Tech G2. We just finished the lower part of the unit. Now it's time to build the power head.
Let's now take a closer look at what's under the shell. This is the power head line.
What we're doing is we're taking our machine block and we're fully assembling it from the pistons to the cranks to the cylinder heads, all the way through your wiring harnesses. Pretty much everything that makes that engine an engine, we're installing here.
So Rick, how many different stations are there?
So on this line, there's 9 stations currently. We're at station number 2 here where we're going to set a crank.
The power head moves from station to station on a robot-like device called an AGV.
Extremely sophisticated machinery. We no longer have to have written instructions for any of these assembly processes. All the tooling actually travels with the power head itself. Instructions will come up on the screen as we're building. The nice part about that is we move the work to the operator instead of the operator moving to the work.
And what's cool about this too is it just follows this black line on the ground.
That's it. It'll go wherever we want the tape to go.
This team will also install the flywheel, oil lines, fuel lines, and cylinder head.
You got a green light on your 8 spindle, so you're good to go.
Just about on the final step of the power head line. You've got a 2-stroke engine in front of you, all the wiring put on, all the hoses put on. And the nicest thing about this, no oil changes ever when we're done.
No oil changes ever.
Ever.
So our power head is now done.
This is where we're at. The next step is going to be to mate these two together. We're going to set the power head on the lower unit over here, lift her up, and let's bring her over.
That's why they gave me this nice handy dandy gun, right? How cool is this? How much do you think this power head weighs?
About 300 pounds.
300 pounds. There's no way I'm lifting it on my own.
Right. There's where you're gonna go.
I just lifted 300 pounds. Sorta.
From that point, we make some of the final connections. We'll hook up some water lines, hook up some oil lines, put a final map in that power head into the computer system so it knows what it is. We're gonna tell it at this point, this is your brain, this is how you run, go for it.
So now it's time to test. It's gonna get noisy.
100% of the engines built here are tested. We burn gas in every single motor that we run here. We'll go through anywhere from a 5 to 8 minute test, depending on what model it is and what it takes to test in that one. We're trying to check everything that could possibly go wrong, anything that needs to be tested. We're checking water pressure, we're checking idle quality, we're gonna check wide open RPMs, and we're gonna check voltage. Anything that we make a connection to or anything that needs to run in the right way, we're testing at that point.
Looks good. Pass the test. 200 horsepower.
Once it passes the test, it's time to make it shine.
We're gonna get wet, they said. Rubber boots, rubber apron, sleeves, and gloves. Added to the resume, motor washer. Just like at the car wash. Oh boy. It's gonna be spotless when I'm done. Time to rinse it off? You should have never given me the hose. Hey Rick, it's all clean.
All right, sounds good. Next thing to do is put the side frames on. Guys?
And once the side panels are on, it's time to pack and ship.
Up next, we test the E-Tech G2's power and performance, and also find out who the best angler is.
It was a small northern, so we're still tied.
No.
That's next on Made for the Outdoors.
Made for the Outdoors is brought to you by Banks Outdoors, Open Air Solutions, Wiley Point Lodge, and by Central Boiler.
Evinrude Motors says that the E-Tech G2 is the outboard of the future.
So now it's time to test this power. Enough sitting around, Kevin.
Let's go do it. You get faster acceleration, better hole shots, and more towing power.
I can go faster.
Let's see how bad you can be in a pink boat. Come on, give it some gas. You have the dynamic power steering, which gives you 3 levels of power assist to be able to take this engine and turn it, the whole rig, on a dime. It never loses its RPM when we turn on those tight turns.
We've got to talk about how quiet this outboard is.
This motor is one of the quietest motors on the market today. We have taken and made sure that one of the things that our users had talked about was making sure we could have a conversation just like we're doing right now, and we've done that.
And one of the exclusive features that you talked about was the iTrim.
That iTrim gives anybody of any skill level the ability to use this motor and this whole package efficiently, eliminating the porpoising effect, so you're not diving into waves. How the motor does that is through a logarithm that's built into the EMM.
It was a small northern, so we're still tied.
No. 1 up. Hey, Lindsey.
2-0. Darn it.
My favorite part to the engine is having the engine do the things that I need it to do, so all I have to worry about is fishing.
Oh yeah, nice bass. All right, 2-1. Well, Kev, thanks for a great day of fishing. And it was also nice to see the power of the E-Tech G2.
We believe that we've got the motor of the future.
Well, it is definitely made for the outdoors. Working at the car wash. Do-do-do-do-do-do. The car wash, yeah. I'm looking good, so here we go, all right.
Go all the way across, all the way back, all the way across. Little slower.
What?
Little slower.
Slower.